Morning chaps, how's it going? I'm going to do a quick video today because, as I explained during midweek, I'm going to shit can the weekly BBC roundup because basically it lasts for about 2 hours and then the fuckwits that run this shower of shite website promptly put a massive amount of restrictions on it and nobody sees the bloody thing anyway. So I'm going to wrap on my weekly BBC news roundup every Sunday. I'll probably just start doing a random Saturday shit talk, covering any of the stuff people send me through the week. I do get quite a lot of amusing stories sent to me via Twitter and Parler and a few other networks, so I'll cover most of them when I can be asked on a Saturday, because obviously I'm not at work or anything. The first one I wanted to address was sent to me by a copper. I've actually got 4 or 5 bobbies now that work in the Met or in major police forces in the UK. They can be my anonymous sources, but I'm sure you've heard about this one. I really do not understand what the fucking mad bastards that are in charge of our police authorities in the UK, I don't know what they think we can use to take down hardened criminals. Like what? Harsh fucking language? Like, how are you supposed to take down a knife-wielding madman without using extreme force in some cases? And again, common sense policing, right? Everyone is cool with the idea that if you pull a Rodney King and give someone a fucking good shoeing for a very minor crime, nobody's cool with that. Nobody's saying, oh, pull an old lady over because she fucking drove past the school a bit too quickly, cave her fucking head in with a nightstick. Nobody's saying that. I like to think the sensible majority is still okay with the fact that violent criminals wielding weaponry don't want to go to the police station. And if you ask them politely, they won't go, marvellous, lead the way, my lord. No, you have to do things quite aggressively with criminals because guess what? Fucking 5-year-olds know that when they play cops and robbers. A game of cops and robbers with your friends at school doesn't involve politely remonstrating with the chap who then hands himself in and you merrily stroll down the street to the police station. No, you chase the fucker. That's the point. Because criminals don't like handing themselves over to police officers. And guess what? When they don't like handing themselves over to police officers, maybe they'll wrestle the cunts or stab or shoot the cunts. Maybe that'll happen. So I don't know what they think, what tools they can be armed with if they're not allowed to get kinetic during an arrest. Because this here is, well, I'll read you it. If you aren't aware of the story, an officer has been suspended after footage emerged that appears to show... I love the way they have to word it. I'll show you the video. Appears to show a policeman kneeling on a neck. Oh, he most definitely was kneeling on a neck. In Islington, 2 officers holding a handcuffed suspect who is black. Why do we even have to mention it? Just suspect. It's 2020. We've gone back 3 decades. It should be irrelevant what the race of the fucking suspect is. Nobody cares. They care about if he's a criminal. A second officer has been removed from operational duty, so both of them have been fucking suspended. Steve House said the footage was extremely disturbing. Well, I'll play you it now. You tell me. From across the political spectrum, come at me and tell me if you think this is extremely disturbing.
Okay, Get off me! Remove your leg from his leg. Right, get off my neck! Remove your leg from his leg.
Are you going to behave yourself?
I ain't done anything wrong!
There we go.
Get off my neck!
Stay down, stay calm.
Stay calm. Okay, I haven't done anything. Thank you very much. Get off my neck.
Stay down.
Stay calm,
Stay calm. Get your hand off
You
my
lot,
head.
back up.
Stay calm.
Move back, all of you. Stay down.
As 2 arresting officers, you're forced to
Shut it.
bro.
Shut it.
What do you mean shut
Stay
it, bro?
down.
Are you alright, bro? I'm recording this. Hey, it's cool, relax.
You lot, move back. No. Relax. Move back.
I mean, look at him at the end there. Does he look like he's in any distress? It's extremely disturbing with George Floyd because he's begging for his life and the guy's doing it for fucking ages. That was just trying to restrain a man who was struggling against them the entire time, aggressively and not contrite in any way. Now, I'm not saying the lad was doing a good job of it, because he wasn't. He's not very well trained, is he? It was a pretty shitty attempt to restrain the guy, but there was no malice. The only thing that matters when you've got a police officer arresting a suspect is intent and results. Was his intent malicious, and did he get a result? If the guy ended up in the hospital and had severe injuries, there's a reason to suspend him. If his intent was corrupt and violent and needlessly hostile and aggressive, there's a reason to suspend him. But there is nothing about that video that displays aggressive intent, hostile intent, or harmful intent. And the end result was a knife-wielding criminal was apprehended. So maybe give him another couple of hours in the fucking dojo with someone who knows what they're doing and move on. Because you've got violent criminals. The man had a knife. 45-year-old man with possession of a knife in a public place. So he's waving a knife around and those two blokes took him down. Might not have been the neatest takedown, but it's commendable that they took the guy out. No harm done. Didn't need medical assistance. No fucking problem. If we're going to get to the point where police are so hamstrung they can't use physical force at all to arrest knife men, then we may as well fucking give up now. Yeah, this twat was fucking knifing innocent women on London Bridge. What do they want us to do? Have a fucking tickling contest with him? It's a fucking piss take. Anyway, ridiculous. I've said my bit. Moving on. You've probably heard about what's going on in Portland. The short version is, the soy boy that runs the fucking place, they're not enforcing the law. They're not protecting business owners. They're not protecting the local residents. So the feds are doing it. They've sent what looks like a pretty elite group, right? You can always tell with coppers. The police are like the military. There's plenty of useless coppers. Everyone knows this. Again, we're all normal. I'm assuming most people watching this are normal, rational people who can see both sides of any argument. I support the police. I don't needlessly blow smoke up their arse. I call each individual case how it looks. And I'm well aware that lots of police are useless, but lots of them aren't, and lots of them do a fucking great job. And you can tell by looking at these boys that whoever it is that gets to go on the kinetic operations with all the Gucci kit, they're obviously getting selected. It's the same in any armed organisation. The good guys get recommended for the positions and they try out and they have more rigorous training. I'm assuming this is some sort of federal policing unit that's pretty elite by police standards. And you can tell by looking at them, they're all athletic. Yeah, there's no fucking 400-pound bloater there. These guys know what they're doing. So, good enough for me. They're trained professionals, they know what they're doing, and I'm sure they've been handpicked so that they've got a relatively elite team as far as police officers go. Best of luck to them. The police need to police the fucking streets, and the people in those streets and the business owners need to feel safe. But everything's politics in America now, so the soy boy that runs the fucking city, he's gone crying, saying, oh my God, keep your troops in your own buildings or have them leave our city. Well, if you enforce the law, Ted, you pubeless fucking jellyfish of a man, the feds wouldn't need to be there, would they? So stop fucking dripping, wind your neck in. However, rather than go on about this, because it's a very simple piece, the mayor doesn't want to enforce the law, the feds are trying to enforce the law, they're butting heads, it's all about politics. Ted Wheeler thinks it's going to make him look good by going on about Trump, like the guy's in charge of every single aspect of American society. You know, you've got a country of 330 million people and 500 cities, and this guy's fucking, oh, it's you, Trump. Like, he sits there, you know, with like a giant fucking chessboard, like Blackadder, and he's individually moving the police. Oh, it's kicking off in northwest side of fucking Seattle today. Let's send these. These fucking things are not his individual decision. And it's simply going to be federal agencies doing what they're paid to do, which is enforce the fucking law. So I'm not going to go on about it. He's just playing politics, and he thinks it'll get him a win in the most liberal city on the fucking western seaboard if he talks shit about Trump. There's no need to talk about it any further. He has the intellectual capability of a fucking shoe, but we all know that. So let's just move on. This is a quality video. In the same city, Portland, and I just found this. So it's about the same time period. It was last week. It's kicking off in Portland. Masked gangs are going around doing whatever they want because nobody's policing the fucking streets. And these little shitheads try to just... They've been going around checking all the car doors, seeing if they can get and steal anything. Just do what they fucking like. Watch what happens when they open this open car and there happens to be a man sat in there.
Oh, hey,
First of all, I love it how he's like, he opens it looking for stuff to rob, and there's a guy there who didn't even notice, and he goes, oh, hey. And then the bloke instantly, because he's obviously streetwise and he knows if a random stranger with a mask on pulls your car door open, you should probably leap on the attack straight away.
Do you understand me? Well, get the fuck out of here. Do you understand me? Get up! I wasn't trying to do it. Get up!
I love the way as well, he's like, yes, sir. Like, the most timid beta male fucking loser ever when he's not with his gang. Like, there was, what, 20 of them? The second he gripped that little shit, they scattered like a bunch of fucking, like, cockroaches when a particularly powerful torch gets shone on them.
You ever opened my bill?
What are you doing? Get the fuck out! Stop doing your petty shit. Get the fuck out of here. You just choke slamming to the ground. That's on video.
And this is the stunning bit. So they all shit themselves and run away like the fucking rat bastards that they are. And now the kinetic bit's over and he's back in his car, they all slowly start gathering the courage again. The mob starts slowly coming back in again. And one of them there shouts, "That's on video," like as if he's the guy who's just done something wrong. Like, this is what I hate about them. The hypocrisy of them. They talk about getting rid of the police department and defunding the police and collapsing the society, the heteropatriarchy, and getting rid of everything. But the second anything doesn't go their way, these middle-class fucking oxygen thieves that are wrecking everything, the second something doesn't go their way, they instantly rely on the mechanisms of the state to fix their problems for them. They don't have the courage to just pull him out of his car and beat him up because they're like, well, there might be 20 of us, but he's got a backbone. He's not willing to be a victim. So, fuck that. We haven't got the guts to do that. 20 of us with masks on. So what we'll do is we'll instantly start crying about how he's on video. Like, oh yeah, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to phone the same organisation, the police, that they want to get rid of, to fucking harass this poor bastard who was defending himself when a little scrawny fucking weasel opened his car for no reason.
Your video, buddy.
What was that? What was that? He's got arrows in the back of his car. Hey, he's got a bag of bullets. He's got arrows in his car. Hey, we need a bunch of people down here now.
We need a bunch. Well, there's 20 of you. Is that not enough? You fucking shithouse.
Bow and arrow! Bow and arrows! He just choked slamming to the ground.
Right next to the Justice Center. This is not a good area to get a bomb. Hey, let's take a picture of his license.
Is that somebody's phone there?
Let's take a picture of his license plate, you fucking nerd. Get a life. I love the way the guy just doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he doesn't even drive off. He's just like, fuck off, you fucking scrawny fucking soy boys. If I have to fold all 20 of you in half, I fucking will do. If that was me, I think I'd have just lost my rag again. I think I'd have jumped out, folded that cunt with the phone up and just stuck him in my boot, drove about 25 miles across town and then threw him out. See you later, son. Walk home.
Hold it. Yeah, somebody dropped their phone. I just want to say that on stream. I have somebody's phone right now.
Okay, so if someone dropped their phone and lost it...
Did anybody?
Anyway, I'll put the link in the fucking description so you can watch it without me talking over it, but it's only a minute. It's literally rat bastard in a mask opens a man's car, man defends himself and fucking shows the little weasels what they are because they scatter like fucking cockroaches, and then boy cries about, I wasn't even going to do anything even though you're in a mask and you just opened a stranger's car door. And then they all scatter off, but then slowly try and come back. But they haven't got the courage, so they go to get his license plate, and then they cry because he's got a bow and arrow in the back. It's not illegal to practice archery in the United States. And yeah, that's that. The thing I wanted to put on there was, A, because it's funny how fucking pathetic and scrawny they are, and I just love seeing Antifa cry. And B, who put that on the internet? Like, you would think when you're that pathetic and weak and hypocritical, you would bury that the second you had it. Like, if I was an Antifa twat, I think I'd have the intellectual ability to put two and two together and think, maybe this doesn't make us look good. Maybe this makes us look like a bunch of scrawny, hypocritical cowards that will only strike if there's more than 40 of us against one man. It's just, I'd been like, delete, delete, delete. I can't fucking believe these weasels put this stuff out there. But apparently, that's how privileged they are. They think, we're the good guys here, and he's going to get arrested if we report him to the police that we hate and want to get rid of. It beggars belief. Last one I want to talk about before I fuck off. Another one that was sent to me on Twitter. They're all whinging about this guy who got killed by Virginia Beach police outside of 7-Eleven. And again, it's just pure race baiting. It's like, oh look, a black man got killed by the police, therefore bad. There's 330 million people in this country, and lots of them have firearms, and there's a lot of crime. People die quite a lot. It's not a big deal. It shouldn't be literally, as you look at the fucker's skin colour, and if he isn't white or Asian, because no one gives a fuck about Asians for some reason, don't know why. Guess because they're not a bunch of fucking victims who cry the loudest. Or Native Americans, funnily enough. If you look at the statistics for Native Americans, the poor bastards are doing terribly. They've got like the highest rates of alcoholism and addiction. No fucking money, shit education. No one worries about them because they don't fucking cry all the time. It's just this one group, and I don't know why. Anyway, turns out Blessy Perry, poor old Blessy Perry, the victim of needless police hostility, is a fucking hitman. Like, it'd be pretty bad if he was like a rapist or a burglar or a drug dealer, but his job is fucking murder. It said the beach SWAT team killed him during a shootout that also claimed the life of his child's mother. Well, that's not so good. I think they need to spend a bit more time on the range. It said federal prosecutors alleged Perry was at the 7-Eleven the night he died to get paid for killing another drug dealer. They also said one of his other suspected victims was an innocent bystander who was killed only because Perry missed his intended target, yet another drug dealer he believed had shot and robbed his boss. So he was a hitman, a professional murderer, right? A bloke who gets paid to end people's fucking lives. And he had a shootout with the SWAT team. And apparently we all have to be outraged just because he's got a tan. That's the world we're living in. It said his 4-month-old son was unharmed in the back of the car. 4 months old, fucking hell, he's probably slept through it. He's sorted. The hitman and his missus both died. Said the missus was caught in the crossfire, but the hitman came out shooting. They used a flashbang grenade and ran up to the vehicle's passenger side, and Perry fired 4 shots at them. 1 bullet pierced the sleeve of an officer's uniform but did not wound him, and 4 of the 5 officers responded with 30 rounds. And again, I do always mock the police out here for that, because they do kick the arse out of it. Like, we had tougher rules of engagement in Afghanistan than the American police have in American cities, and that makes no sense to me. So yeah, I'll criticise the police for the sheer volume of fucking lead they throw down range. But other than that, no fucking problem, nothing to see here. Professional killer. Had a shootout with the SWAT team and he died. Saving the taxpayers some money. Winner. Seriously, it's time to get over this, lads. Everyone's bored. Most people don't support Black Lives Matter. Most fucking black people don't. I've just had a chat with my mate John, who lives in Singapore with his missus, and she's black, and he was laughing because he's from Middlesbrough and he's a full-blown Labour lefty twat, and he was going on about he supports Black Lives Matter, but his fucking missus, who's black and American, definitely doesn't. And I was like, yes, you silly twat, because you're a fucking idiotic middle-class English lefty, and she's a black American, so guess what? She's not a fucking communist, like most of them aren't. That whole movement needs to fucking die, and we need to let the police do the job they're paid for, criticise them when we need to, and have common sense measures to make sure that they aren't above the law, and if there is obvious evidence of wrongdoing, they get tried in fucking front of a jury of their peers, and if they do wrong, they get sent to the slammer. None of this is controversial. I'm not a clever bastard for thinking of it. It's how we've always done it for the last 150 years. The police get policed. The system works fine. let's get back to normality. And the Mayor of Portland, take your fucking head for a shit, you clueless fuck knuckle. That's all I've got time for today. I'll be in touch, boys and girls. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this shit to try and build my audience, because YouTube don't want that to happen. And I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers.